The NCAA Women's Volleyball Rules Committee has created this video to communicate the rule changes, clarifications, and points of emphasis for the 2018 season. We will include some of the same visual training and language that is used to train officials who attend the preseason NCAA PAVO national clinics. The committee hopes that if coaches, players, and officials all hear a consistent message, the implementation of these changes will be as uneventful as possible. These are the members of the NCAA Women's Volleyball Rules Committee who met in January 2017. The committee meets in person each January. In even-numbered years, the committee reviews all the rules and considers rule changes for the coming season. In odd-numbered years, the committee develops rules clarifications, points of emphasis, and discusses new trends and topics submitted by coaches and administrators. Annually, the committee reviews all rule change proposals that have been submitted by coaches and administrators, as well as the results of the coaches' survey and injury reports. In addition to the in-person meeting each January, the committee has monthly conference calls during the volleyball season. Once the Volleyball Rules Committee votes to approve the rule changes, they are sent to PROP, that is, Playing Rules Oversight Panel, which is an NCAA committee that reviews rules for all NCAA sports. PROP is charged with considering financial impact, safety issues, or concerns about the integrity of the game. Once PROP approves the changes, they are put into effect. Two new members of the NCAA Women's Volleyball Rules Committee will start a 3-year term on September 1st, 2018. Jenna Ness and Chelsea Blakely. Let's review the representatives that make up the committee. As you can see, there are 8 voting members on the Rules Committee. 4 are from Division I, and there are 2 each from Division II and Division III. Terms for committee members begin on September 1st each year, and there is a staggered rotation of terms, so there will be new members joining the committee each September. The contact information for the committee members can be found on the NCAA website at ncaa.org/playingrules. Please feel free to contact any of the committee members with your thoughts or concerns about the rules. You may also contact the Secretary Rules Editor Ann Pufall, who works with the committee to develop the actual rules language and interpretation for the women's collegiate volleyball rules. 2018 rules changes. Rule 7.1.2.4. Beginning in 2019, the jersey number must be of a color that is clearly in distinct contrast with the color of the jersey, irrespective of any border around the number. The next 2 rule changes will not go into effect until 2019. This change was driven by input from coaches. Coaches were having trouble seeing the players' numbers on scouting videos when the number color was similar to the jersey color, even if the number was trimmed. Requiring the number color to contrast from the jersey color will provide a clearer view of the jersey number for the officials, coaches, scorers, fans, and media. This rule change goes in effect in 2019. Rule 7.1.3.3. Beginning in 2019, the jersey may contain a single conference logo. The logo may not exceed 3x5 or 4x4 inches. The conference logo must not obstruct the uniform number. The previous rules language had no restrictions on the size or number of conference logos. This change provides new guidelines for conference logos while ensuring visibility of the uniform number. These restrictions on size and number will go into effect in 2019. Libero jersey. The elimination of the solid-colored jersey rule. This new rule simplifies the libero jersey rule and allows manufacturers to use the latest design techniques. Let's look at the new rules language and some examples. Here is the language approved by the Rules Committee. Please note that the intent was that any solid-colored jersey that was legal the past 2 years will still be legal using the new rules language. Let's look at the rules language. Rule 7.1.1.2. The libero uniform must clearly contrast from the predominant colors of the teammates, excluding trim. The libero jersey cannot be made up solely of the same predominant colors as the teammates, even if the light colors are placed differently on the jersey. Rule 7.1.1.2.3 is new this year. Sublimation is allowed as long as the jersey meets all other uniform specifications. We don't care if a pattern or graphic on the uniform is sublimated or trim is woven in, as long as the jerseys meet the criteria regarding contrast and immediate recognition. Rule 7.1.1.2.4. Lettering can be different than lettering on the teammate's jersey. We remove the word collar. The collar may be the same as the teammates' jerseys. Rule 7.1.1.2.6 is the same as last year. No change. Let's look at some examples. Last year, this would not have been a legal combination. With the new rule, this is a legal combination, since the solid red clearly contrasts from the gray jersey color. All the jerseys above can be legally worn in combination with each other. All of the color would clearly contrast with each other. This is not a legal combination. This demonstrates the part of Rule 7.1.1.2 that says the libero's jersey cannot be made up solely of the same predominant colors as the teammates, even if the light colors are placed differently on the jersey. This is a legal combination. This is a combination that would not have been legal last year, but will be legal this year, since the predominant color is not of the jersey on the left, black. It is not a predominant color of the jersey on the right, red. If you have any question about the legality of a jersey combination, please contact the Volleyball Secretary Rules Editor. In 2017, the intermission between sets 2 and 3 could be as long as 10 minutes. With this change, intermission between sets 2 and 3 can be 3, 4, or 5 minutes. The NCAA Volleyball Rules Committee looked at statistics that showed a drop-off of fans watching volleyball on TV after the intermission, and also heard about anecdotal information about fans leaving during the 10-minute intermission. A 5-minute intermission will be used for the 2018 championship. Additional language has been added to the libero not being listed on the lineup. If a libero is not designated on the lineup sheet for a set, the coach may, without delay, indicate to the second referee the player's number who will be playing libero. The scorer and assistant scorer record the libero on the score sheet. If no libero is listed as the referees checking the lineups, they are instructed to quickly confirm with the coach that they are going to use a libero, get the libero's number, and inform the scorer and assistant scorer. There must not be a delay. Remember, it is ultimately the coach who is responsible for making sure their lineup is submitted correctly. Rule 10.1.1.10. If a team submits a lineup sheet that has a player's number listed as both the libero and one of the 6 starting players, the coach shall immediately decide whether that player is the libero or a starting player. If the duplicate number is to be the libero, a substitution is used to correct the starting lineup. If the duplicate number is to be the starting player, another player can be designated as libero. The old rule stated that if a number is listed as a libero and as a starting player, that player could only play as the libero. Now the coach can decide to either replace the libero with a different number or make a substitution for the duplicate starting player prior to the start of the set. Scenario 1. While checking lineups, the second referee notices that the coach has number 16 as the libero and in position 3 as a starting player. The second referee notices number 6 is dressed in a libero uniform. The second referee confirms with the coach that number 6 will be the libero. The referee allows number 6 to enter as the libero. Scenario 2. The second referee notices that no libero is listed for Team B. The second referee confirms with the coach that they will be using a libero and has the scorer add it to their lineup sheet and score sheets. Scenario 3. While checking lineups, the second referee notices that the coach has number 16 as a libero and in position 3 as a starting player. The second referee notices that number 6 is dressed in the libero uniform. The second referee confirms with the coach that number 6 will be the libero. The referee allows number 6 to enter as the libero. The coach now wants number 4 to replace number 16. The referee allows this to happen. The team must be charged with a substitution for player number 4, and player number 16 is locked into that position. Coaches can make substitutions prior to the first serve. Scenario 4. After the referees have checked the lineup, Team A serves and loses the rally. The Team A libero, number 5, enters to replace the server. The assistant scorer informs the second referee that Team A did not list a libero on the lineup sheet. The referee confirms with the Team A coach that number 5 will be the libero and has the scorers enter number 5 as the libero. This is incorrect. Once the set has started, no changes to the lineup may be made. Team A must play that set without a libero. In reality, with all the safety check in place, R2 reviews the lineup, gives it to the scorer and assistant scorer, and R2 checks the lineup on the court. This should never, ever happen. Rule 6.4.4. Sanction procedures during Challenge Review System, or CRS. Rule 6.4.4.1. Any individual sanction assessed after a challenge has been accepted will be administered immediately, even if the challenge review has not been completed. If the sanction is an individual warning, the review process is completed after the sanction is administered. If a sanction resulting in a point is assessed prior to the review outcome, the review process is not completed, and the original decision stands. If a sanction resulting in a point is assessed after the review is completed, the result of the review process is recorded, followed by the sanction. Rule 6.4.4.2. A sanction that ends a set or match will be administered immediately. The challenge will not be reviewed because the set or match is completed. New Rule 18.1.4.1. Ball ruled in or out as defined by Rule 16.2.1 and 16.2.2, and whether the ball was contacted by a player. Note: a review of an in-out decision or a touch decision can result in a final determination of in, out, or touch. According to CRS data, 81% of challenges involve in, out, and touch calls. Under the previous rule, if the coach challenges in but replay shows the ball is out and also shows there was a touch, the referees could only rule on the in-out and not the touch. Also, if a touch was called and challenged, but the review shows that the ball was in, the in call could not be made. We have now combined in-out touch into a single challenge. This change allows the correct call to be made. This will only be used for in-out touch calls at the termination of a rally. Perfect example of being able to get it right. The old rule said the coach had to determine if they wanted to challenge the in-out or touch. This season, the coach can still challenge in-out, but the official can also look for a touch. This is the same as the previous situation. The coach challenged in-out, but there was a defensive player that may have touched the ball. This can be viewed and ruled on by the second referee. New challenge. Rule 18.1.4.5. Whether a back row player was an illegal attacker as defined in Rule 14.5.4.2.1 by touching or crossing the attack line prior to takeoff. This is limited to the feet on the attack line only. This does not include a back row setter dump or libero in the front zone using finger action to set the ball. If during the attack the first referee indicates the ball was not completely above the height of the net, the challenge would not be allowed. What did you see that the referees didn't? An illegal back row attack by the team on the right. The opposing coach can now challenge that the player was an illegal back row attacker. This is a little trickier. Did the referees even notice? Yes, they did. Let's watch it again. The first referee indicated the ball was not completely above the height of the net. Therefore, the coach cannot challenge this play. This is volleyball's version of overtime. If the match is going 5 sets, each team will get an additional challenge regardless of how many challenges they have remaining. The Rules Committee also determined that the use of headsets for the referees and line judges for assist with CRS communication is allowable. It is not a requirement, but if a conference or institution wants to use it, they may. Rule 19.4.3.2, the last sentence. Other match personnel, statisticians, announcer, and media, should not be permitted to see the lineups until they are recorded and finalized by the scorers. Once the lineups have been submitted and after the scorer and assistant scorer have recorded all the information on the score sheet prior to the first set, the scorer may provide the team's lineup in numerical order, not service order, to the statisticians, announcer, and media. However, each coach has the option to ask that their lineup be protected until the 1-minute mark of the pre-match warm-ups. Statisticians, announcer, and media may not gather or stand over the scorers and assistant scorer while they are performing their duties. Here is a technique that will be implemented. When the lineup sheets are submitted before each set, the referee should inform the coach that they will protect their lineup until the 1-minute mark unless the coach gives permission to release the lineup to the statisticians, announcer, and media in numerical order early. The 2018 season is right around the corner. Good luck as you begin play, and thanks for taking time to become more familiar with the rule changes, clarifications, and points of emphasis for the upcoming season.